Well, so we're ready now to do the discussion, and we have to start not only with the subject, but of course I have to first introduce my guest for the morning. I have James Agalga. He's a Deputy Interior Minister, but also Member of Parliament for Bolson North, and thanks for joining us this morning. And let's just look at straight away the subject that has caught the attention of many people around, apart from what took place in Parliament. Yesterday, there was a demolition exercise, and I believe you're very much aware. One person was shot dead, as according to the Ghanaian Times, as a gang attempted to stop the demolition exercise, and a team of policemen from the Accra Regional Police Command shot and killed a young man among a group protesting against the demolition exercise ongoing at the Adenta area. They were said to have been occupying a land that belonged to the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, and the eviction took place yesterday, and it followed months or even weeks of notices that had been given the encroachers, and as a result of that, one person was shot dead. The police said the deceased, identified as a J. Apo 22, and others attacked the police personnel providing the security for the demolition of about 320 illegal structures. And the concern is that the exercise was not undertaken in a humane phase.
Well, thank you, and good morning to your viewers. What happened yesterday, for me, was unfortunate. Unfortunate in the sense, the shooting incident at Adenta. You would recall that time with that number, the police had notified the squatters on the land to move away, to make way for the land to be used for the purpose for which it was acquired. But the people turned deaf ears to all the warnings. And yesterday, when the police actually went there to carry out the demolition exercise, we are informed that a gang of armed men decided to take the law into their hands by attacking the police. I mean, you don't do that. That is unacceptable in a country such as ours. And so the police had no choice but to return fire, in protection of their own lives. That resulted in the unfortunate death of the person who...
Well, but that really is account of the police, because there are contrary accounts, especially from some eyewitnesses and perhaps those who were around, especially those who were among the evictees, that there was no show of force by any of those supposedly land guards who were involved in this very incident.
Well, the reports we have indicates clearly that weapons were recovered from the scene of attack.
What type of weapons? Guns? Or
I should think so. Machetes, guns, etc. were recovered from the scene of the incident. Now, you must understand that the police are human beings and will not open fire on anybody if, one, there is no resistance, two, if their own lives are not under threat. It is evident, even if you watch some of the video footage that was aired, you would see the resistance that people put up. They acted as though warnings, notices had not been served on them. In any case, nobody doubts the fact that that land belongs to civil aviation. Why have the squatters decided some of them put up permanent structures on the land? Why must it be so? You see, lawlessness is beginning to become part and parcel of our lives as Ghanaians, and that must be discouraged. Government acquired the land for a specific purpose. Why have people decided to move onto the land and put up permanent structures?
But where was government in the first place when these quarters, or if not encroachers, were gradually encroaching on the lands? Because we're being told some of them really are developers, and it means that they've invested a lot of money in them. Well, not justifiably though.
Well, I expect any genuine developer, who believes in value for money, to conduct searches before he or she acquires a parcel of land. Now, if anybody carries out a search on that parcel of land, it would become evident that that land belongs to civil aviation. And so no private individual can dispose of that land to a developer. And so if you're a developer and you decide, you disregard what is there at the Lands Commission and go ahead and transact business with a private individual in relation to a parcel of land situate at that location, then you have a very corrupt mind. I mean, sorry to put it that way in a very blunt manner, you have a corrupt mind. And so for me, the argument that what was government doing, in any case, government issued notice for well over a year that, listen, you people are not entitled to live here. Very soon, we will be evicting you. That was to give people the space and opportunity to leave, the place. But they persisted, they stayed on. And unfortunately, that is what resulted in, the problems we had yesterday. It's unfortunate that life was lost, but we must discourage lawlessness in our country. You don't move onto a parcel of land without conducting a search. You enter into negotiations for the sale, or if you like, a lease of that land, and you straight away you start developing. The question to ask is, who gave them permits to put up those structures? Because if they went through due process,
they would have noticed.
You would even be required to produce your title deeds. And nobody can acquire a title deed in relation to that parcel of land because it is registered in the name of civil aviation.
Well, your point is well made. Now, following this very incident, what follows then? Because we have, a dead body in the morgue currently.
Yes, some arrests have been effected. 3 individuals were arrested, apart from the one who unfortunately died. I believe the police are going to carry out investigations, and those who are found to have been part of that attack on the security agencies, if evidence is gathered, they will be prosecuted.
And then following that?
Well, if you are prosecuted and found guilty, the consequences are clear. But the point is that the demolition exercise, went on, even though there were some, of course, resistance, but nevertheless, it went on well. And I believe civil aviation are in a better position to put that land to good use.
We do understand how, traditional authorities perhaps might have ceded their lands to the state for specific projects. Now, if the projects have not taken place in a very long time, and perhaps even those lands have not been part of those that had been ceded back to the traditional authorities, but those traditional authorities took the law into their own hands and started perhaps selling portions of those lands, what usually should be the remedies?
Well, you are asking me to identify remedies that are available to people who illegally sell land which belongs to
these
the
people,
state.
I'm asking this because these people bought the land from the traditional authorities.
To start with, whatever transaction must have taken place between traditional authorities and the so-called developers is null and void. It could never have taken place in the eyes of the law. It's a non-starter. You see, if you are diligent in this country, before you purchase land or you acquire a leasehold interest in land, the first thing you must do is to carry out a search to convince yourself about the true ownership of the land before you go into any meaningful transaction. And so, barring that, you have no case. Whatever you do is null and void. You put something on nothing. When you do that, whatever you have put on nothing would collapse. Okay,
so now are we having the situation continuing today in terms of the exercise?
No, I suspect the police were able to demolish the structures they had clearly marked out for demolition. And so those who have been arrested, of course, they are going to be screened. Statements are going to be taken. Some investigation would be carried out. Those who are not found to have contravened the law definitely would be allowed to go. But those who are found to have engaged the police in what we saw yesterday, it would definitely be prosecuted.
Okay. We'll